Good early morning to you, YouTube. How you folks doing? How you folks doing? Dirk here at GC Blues 45. It's now time for the post-game report. Now, for you new people, this is where I give you the scores, shots, saves, power plays, and what I thought about the game. And it's crazy how we do the post-game report. So here we go. 11 games on the dock. Here we go. Starting off with Toronto and New Jersey entering the matchup. Toronto was 16-9-2 and 34 points. New Jersey 18-10-2 and 38 points. I went for Toronto, as you know, and this game had to go to overtime after 60 minutes. So it's tied 1-1, and Toronto wins by a score of 2-1. Shots on goal were the Leafs 16, the Devils 39. The Maple Leafs had 38 saves with the Devils 39. Toronto was 0 for 3 on the power play with New Jersey 0 for 4 on the power play. Um, this game was pretty evenly matched. Both teams firing at all cylinders. Toronto wanted it more. That's why they won, and that's why it happened. So way to go by both teams, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Got someone messaging me. Okay, where was I? All right. So ready to go by Toronto, and also it's my first win of the night. All right, next we had Colorado at Pittsburgh. Entering the matchup, Colorado was 16-13-0 and 32 points. Pittsburgh 12-13-4 and 28 points. At the end of 60 minutes, Colorado beats the Pittsburgh Penguins by the score of 6-2. Shots on goal, both teams had 27. The Avs had 25 saves with the Pens 21. Colorado was 0 for 3 on the power play with Pittsburgh 0 for 4 on the power play. And also, Colorado's on a 3-game winning streak. Colorado fired on all cylinders. They attacked like crazy. That's why they won. Pittsburgh, they did fought diligently, but they couldn't overcome Colorado's aggressiveness. So that's why they lost. So, way to go, everybody else. But I will still never root for you guys until your owner sells you. I'm sorry. I will never root for the Avalanche until Kroenke sells them. Yeah, that's me. Next was San Jose at Carolina. Entering the matchup, San Jose was 10-15-5 and 24 points. Carolina 17-9-1 and 35 points. At the end, 60 minutes, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the San Jose Sharks by a score of 3-2. Hold on. Sorry about that. And so here we go. San Jose, once again, San Jose loses 3-2 to Carolina. Shots on goal were the Canes 28, San Jose, the Sharks 23. The Hurricanes had 21 saves with the Sharks 25. And Carolina was 0 for 4 on the power play with San Jose 0 for 3 on the power play. That's 3 games in a row. 0 for 3, 0 for 4. By the way, San Jose's now on a 3-game losing streak. And Carolina and San Jose, they were both evenly matched. Both teams firing back and forth, back and forth. Um, and apparently Carolina wanted it more, and that's why they won. So way to go for Carolina. And I did pick Carolina, so now I'm 2-1. See how I do with the rest. Next is Philadelphia at Columbus. Entering the matchup, Philadelphia 12-12-4 and 28 points. Columbus 12-12-3, 27 points. Teams both right at the cusp of each other. Practically identical records. And the Philadelphia Flyers beat the Columbus Blue Jackets by a score of 5-3 after 60 minutes. Shots on goal, Flyers 24, the Blue Jackets 18. The Flyers had 15 saves with the Jackets 19. Philadelphia was 1 for 3 on the power play with Columbus 1 for 2 on the power play. Oh boy, what can I say about this one? Both teams evenly matched. They were going neck and neck, back and forth. When Philly scored the fourth goal, Columbus wanted to try to force the game into overtime and get that their fourth goal. So they emptied the net, and that's why Philadelphia won. So I got no problem with Philadelphia. Um, Way to go for Philadelphia. They got their 30th win, their 13th point, and overall they're doing great. But we'll see what can happen. The season's still young; anything can happen. So I'm now 2-2, 2-2-0. Let's see how I do with the rest. Next was LA at the New York Islanders entering the matchup. LA was 16-8-3 and 35 points. New York Islanders 11-7 and 29 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Kings beat the Islanders by a score of 3-1. Shots on goal were the Kings 30, the Islanders 20. The Kings had 19 saves with the Islanders 27. LA was 0 for 1 on the power play with the New York Islanders 0 for 3 on the power play. By the way, LA is on a 6-game winning streak. They are on a tear in the Western Conference. So, or should we say also in the Pacific Division, they're on a great tear. They are practically one of the top teams in the division. So, way to go. This was a pretty good neck and neck battle also. When LA scored their second goal, the Islanders, he wanted to, they, and apparently didn't happen, and bam. So apparently LA wanted to win more, and that's why they got it. Next was Calgary at Nashville. Entering the matchup, Calgary was 13-10-5 and 31 points. Nashville 7-15-6 and 20 points. And at the end of 16 minutes, the Nashville Predators lose to the Calgary Flames by a score of 4-3. That's my fourth win, folks. Fourth win because I picked Calgary. Shots on goal were the Flames 28, the Preds 20. The Flames had 17 saves with the Predators 24. Calgary was 1 for 2 on the power play with Nashville 0 for 2 on the power play. And Nashville's now on a 4-game losing streak. I don't know what's going on with Nashville. Only 7 wins, and we are near mid-December. And already they're one of the bottom teams. Calgary fired, but tonight, Nashville and Calgary, they were neck and neck all the way through. And Calgary just wanted that more, and they got that fourth goal, and that's why they won. So, way to go for Calgary. But with Nashville, I don't know what's going on with Nashville, to tell you the truth. To get Steven Stamkos, which was great. A lot of people were looking and had the hype, but something is not clicking. And we don't know what it is. As a fan, I don't know what it is. So I cannot say for sure. Next was Boston and Winnipeg. Entered the matchup, Boston 15-11-3 and 33 points. Winnipeg 29-0 and 40 points. At the end of 16 minutes, Winnipeg wailed on Boston by a score of 8-1. Shots on goal, the Jets 35, the Bruins 24. The Jets had 23 saves with the Bruins 27. Winnipeg was 3 for 6 on the power play with Boston 1 for 2 on the power play. Wow. Winnipeg fired on all cylinders tonight. I mean, they went full blast. In Boston, they just couldn't keep up with Winnipeg, and they lose badly. Winnipeg, they're tied for first place now. Because you got to remember, it goes by the points. It doesn't go by your record or your win percentage. It goes by the points. So they're now tied with the Wild. Next was, by the way, Boston. At least they didn't get a shutout. So that's the best thing. Next is Tampa Bay at Edmonton. Current going into the matchup, Tampa Bay was 11, 9, and 2 and 30 points. Edmonton 15, 10, and 2 and 26 points. And 32 points, sorry. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Tampa Bay Lightning lose to the Edmonton Oilers by the score of 2-1. And guess what? That's not my sixth win. Six. Shots on goal were the Oilers 25, the Lightning 22. The Oilers had 21 saves with the Lightning 24, and both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. What can I say about this one? Both teams neck and neck, back and forth they went. Um, but Edmonton wanted to win more. And also, there was an own goal. Basically, it was a bad rebound, and the Tampa player put it in his own goal. Draisaitl was the last player to touch the puck for the Oilers. That's how the game was, and that's how they won because of that goal. When the Lightning player hit the puck into his net. So that's why also the saves and shots were different. So just know. But it was a good matchup. Besides that little mistake by Tampa, but you never know what can happen. Next was Minnesota at Utah. Entering the matchup, Minnesota 18, 5, and 4 and 40 points. Utah 12, 11, and 4 and 28 points. After 60 minutes, this game was tied at 4-4. This had to go to a shootout. And the results of that shootout were Minnesota went 1 for 2, Utah 0 for 3. Minnesota wins. They get that extra point. They win by a score of 5-4. Now, the stats I'm going to give you were after overtime. Just know that when a game goes into a shootout, this what goes into the books. Okay. Shots on goal: the Wild 38, Hockey Club 25. I know. I gotta get you saying that. The Wild had 21 saves with Hockey Club 34. Minnesota was 0 for 2 on the power play with Utah 2 for 3 on the power play. I really hope the new name of the Utah team comes soon because I am not used to saying hockey club. Both teams evenly matched. Very good game. Minnesota wanted to win more. That's when it went into shootout. That's what happens, and you see what can be done. So very good game by both teams. By the way, Utah did pick up a point, so I'm happy. And by the way, for the first game, New Jersey picks up a point too. So next, my Blues in Vancouver, the final game of their current road trip, which was in Western Canada. Can we get the win? Can we go 3-1 on this road trip? Let's find out. Shots going into the matchup, St. Louis was 13, 13, and 2 and 28 points. Vancouver 14, 8, and 4 and 32 points. This game also had to go into an extra period. And the Blues win by a score of 4-3. Yes, go Blues, go Blues. Yes, go Blues. Shots on goal, both teams had 25. The Blues had 22 saves with the Canucks 21. The Blues went 1 for 2 on the power play. No, St. Louis went 1 for 2 on the power play with Vancouver 1 for 3 on the power play. Well, despite picking up a point, Vancouver did a great job. This was a very evenly matched game. The Blues had the lead going into the third. They score again. Vancouver, they score, and hopefully the Blues can hold them off. And then the Blues, um, really fought hard, and then they tied up in the third, and the game goes in overtime, and the Blues just went in overtime, which we're glad. Thank you. 3-1, 3-1-0 on this road trip, and since the new coach has taken over, we have been on a tear the last 7 games, we got a point at least. So we're on a pretty good point streak too. So way to go. That's our 30th point, but we're still, we're nudging. We're slowly getting there. But we got a long hill to climb. And finally, Florida at Seattle. Entering the matchup, Florida was 17-9-2 and 36 points. Seattle 14-14-1 and 29 points. This game was tied at 1-1 after overtime. This had to go into a shootout. The results of that shootout were Florida went 2 for 2, Seattle 0 for 2. Florida wins by a score of 2-1. Once again, the stats I'm going to give you were after overtime. So this one goes into the book, okay? Shots on goal, the Panthers 33, the Kraken 18. The Panthers had 17 saves with the Kraken 32. Florida went over 2 on the power play with Seattle 0 for 3 on the power play. Oh, and by the way, Edmonton's on a 3-game winning streak. I forgot to mention that. Florida's now on a 3-game winning streak. So, way to go. Despite picking up a point, Seattle's now at 30, which is pretty good. But Florida wanted more. This game was evenly matched, back and forth. They went very good going by the defending Stanley Cup champions. So I'm very proud of this game. So how did I do? Well, I went 8-2-1 tonight. That's not bad. 8-2-1. That's a pretty good record. So that now puts me on my sheet. See, just say it. Puts me at 122, 67, and 15, and a total of 265 points. If we go by the points, I have 265 points now. As you know, I'm not recording a lot, but every games that I do, so far my best day is current 8-2-1. That's 11 game. No, my best was November 5th. I went 9-1-1. That's pretty good. And the day before that, November 2nd, I went 8-3. That was another 11 game season, another game night. So that's pretty good. And of course, that monster 16 game night, that was something. Of course, I wish I did do that video, but I didn't. So once again, tell me how you guys are doing on your guys' records. Are you doing better than me, or are you doing worse than me? Comment below, and tell me how you guys doing. Mainly, how are you seeing your team doing and stuff, and much more. I'll see you guys later on I'll see you again for tomorrow's pregame report. We only have 2 games on the dock tomorrow. And then, of course, we got much more. Don't you guys worry. As always, folks, I love you guys. Please stay safe. Take care. Remember the Lord's watching you. And since we reached the end of this video, if you have not subscribed yet, click that subscribe icon. Click that subscribe icon. Okay, click it. Click it. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, hit the bell icon. So until then, peace.